A great Thursday morning. It is a quiet morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And I say it's a morning. Good morning. I say it's a quiet morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, because literally I got to my office mega extra early today. And not only got to my office mega extra early, also este, let me shut down Facebook because it's just going to be beeping like a crazy thing. There. Uh, got in early because it's part of my usual routine, and decided not to go to the coffee shop this morning. Avoided the coffee shop, just stayed in, bought me some granola, have a ton of honey. I hate my hair. I bought me a ton of honey. Bought me a ton of honey, and just had myself a good a little granola with a little bit of milk and a mess load of honey, trying to regulate the system a little bit. So I just decided to stay in, despite the fact that I had to stay in a little bit. Of course, I did struggle to put everything together this morning. And again, one of the things that I've shared with folks out there is that it really does get to be a little bit on the nerve wracking side in regards to trying to get everything set up. Um, I'm not sure. I think that other individuals, last night we had Frankie on. I think other individuals have an easier time. No, not an easier time. Have a harder time actually of getting stuff organized for the presentations that they're going to do. I think one of the things that Frankie does really, really well is that he goes out there and he actually prepares material where I do not. Sometimes there's ¿Qué te pasa, Erasmo? Despiértate. Every so often, guys, there's some things out there that I go like, this is going to be good for the show tonight or in the morning. But that's the to the greatest extent that I actually go out there and actually prepare to come out every day. And it's not so much because I don't have don't care about preparing material. It's more that sometimes I feel I just don't have to. There's so much going on at times in the city of Brownsville, Cameron County, in our area, in the valley, the Rio Grande Valley, that I just don't think that there's ever the need to be always on point and prepared. One of the things that I'd hoped to do with these shows was to, provide something a little bit different from what local media are offering and what other sources out there are presenting. And look, guys, one of the things that I've shared with folks is that part of doing what we do is putting your name out there so that everyone, can hear it from where it's coming. And it's a double-edged sword of sorts, because at the end of the day, if you're out there going to present and place your name behind what you're doing, you're going to have to accept the criticism of individuals who think differently from you. I was watching. Good morning, David Smith. I was watching President Biden speech at NATO uh, this morning, and I don't know if anybody else had an opportunity to listen into it. I actually watched it through the PBS social media page because I'm not a big fan of uh, either news, either news uh, entities, either side of that damn bird, and it was kind of a trippy deal because as the I want to give the president the chance. I want to go out there and say, like, well, let's hear what the president has to say. And let me tell you, one of the things that I can say is, someone who has sit in through presidential conversations from presidents all the way from Jimmy Carter on down. Let me tell you, Biden is by far the worst speaker that we've had. I mean, even Jimmy Carter, I mean, as passive as he was, is that did a lot better job than Biden. And I'm not exactly sure if teleprompters were a thing back then, or if Jimmy Carter even used them. I think that there's a lot of things to praise Jimmy Carter on after he was president, more than I would say that when he during his term as president. But Ronald Reagan was an amazing speaker, and he was an amazing speaker, and not only in the sense of giving speeches at different stumps or different events, because at the end of the day, let me say I actually got to hear President Reagan when he came to Brownsville, when he came to TSC, and I thought I was giddy, man. It was kind of cool, and let me tell you, a great speaker. And Reagan did rely on teleprompters, but one of the things that I was most amazed on was how fake he looked. With all that makeup plastered on his face, and let me tell you, it's just kind of a trippy to see, but a great speaker. I mean, I remember the different conversations that President Reagan would have outside of the teleprompter. A lot of the debates that he had where he had to think on the fly. Because one of the things that Reagan was called out for when he ran against Walter Mondale during that time was his age. That his age was on the greater side of the spectrum, and he was going to be one of the oldest presidents out there. And his quick remark back to Walter Mondale was just amazing. When he was when he was being asked in regards to his age, in regards to his second term, I think one of the things that we all started to see in Reagan is how towards the end of his second term as president, he was declining, but that's just age. That's just age. Uh, George Bush, as there was a great speaker. I think George Bush was a cool president, as the one timer. But again, as the George Bush, it was kind of a weird deal. But I remember that one time I actually had a dream about George Bush. It's kind of a weirdish little thing. But I think that dream came after he was out of office. After George Bush, we had a Clinton, and let me tell you, man, Clinton was a talker, and he was a great orator, and good a good wit, and knew when to crack a smile at the right point in time. Uh, a great speaker. After Clinton, we had George Bush again, not the first one, but the son. And let me tell you, uh, not the greatest of speakers, but because of the circumstances of his presidency, is to learn on the fly, and became to what a lot of us thought was an okay president. There was a couple of issues in regards to the loans, to a lot of the mortgage and loans and financials and stuff. But again, still, for that time was the way to go. Then we've got uh, Barack Obama. Let me tell you, that guy could speak up a storm, man. That guy could speak up a storm, and you'd watch them on the news and stuff, and you'd watch him, on these press conferences. And let me tell you, man, guy was spot on. Don't have to agree with his politics, guys, but the guy was a great speaker. After President Obama, we had Trump, and Trump was like something totally different, guys. Totally different. It's kind of trippy, but probably Trump is the only president out there or candidate for president who would speak like a lot of folks would speak when they were having conversations with their compadres. And that's, I think, one of the things that allured a lot of people to Trump. As they, I kind of enjoyed more Trump while he was off the teleprompter and just spoke from the cuff, because at least you were getting someone that you knew what you were getting yourself into. But then towards, I think, towards the start of his presidency, as the he started to rely a little bit more on the teleprompters, and kind of sounded a little bit on the robotic side. I think it took away a little bit from that Trump that a lot of people expected, but still he could speak. I mean, even to this day, I actually saw an interview this morning. I think it was Newsbreak or Newsweeks or something, where he gave an interview in regards to the end of the uh, January 6th hearings, and I think that they're at the end. I have not been watching them, and I don't care about them. But came out against that chick that was out there saying that he had lunged at the SUV Secret Service agent who was out there driving. And see, and this is, and guys, this is one of the things. This is one of the things that that really, really trips me out. And one of the reasons why, guys, these hearings are just so out of whack, are so bogus, as they're getting individuals out there to testify against Trump, and what they're out there saying just doesn't make any sense. First of all, that he's back at an SUV, and again, not one of these regular SUVs like we have, but that he lunged and tried to grab the steering wheel because he wanted to go to the Capitol, and the Secret Service refused to take him, and it just doesn't make any sense, guys. I mean, the guy was on the chubby side, still is on the chubby side. Actually, I think he's lost a little bit of weight. Was on the chubby side, guys. There's no way that chubby guy at 76 years old is going to be out there lunging at at the steering wheel of an SUV, man. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. But again, even if it doesn't make any sense, it could have happened. But then you get to hear from the Secret Service agents who were actually in the vehicle, and they've debunked completely the claim of this chick that went out there and just tried to make her name for herself. And that's what I find very, very, sad about the media, is that we're never going to hear the complete stories. I mean, what reason would the Secret Service under Trump, now that he's not president anymore, what reason would they have to lie? And I'm sorry, I'm going to trust and believe the working class folk, the regular folk that were closer to President Trump, to say it wasn't. Anyway, then we've got Biden. And let me tell you, guys, that guy can't speak. That guy struggles, stutters. As if it's not scripted, can't answer a question to save his life. And that's what's very, very unfortunate. Your show is more organic and spontaneous. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Good morning. Good morning. I have been seeing your campaign signs. That's good. Actually, the signs that I've been placing throughout the city are my program signs. Come watch at Erasmo at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the evening. My campaign signs should arrive, I think, next week. We'll see. Where you get elected, where will your district where when you get elected, where will your district encompass? It's kind of cut in a pretty cool way, I would say. It's Morrison, uh, Cameron Park, comes back and covers everything all the way to Rancho Viejo, which is a kind of cool area for me, I would say. I think that I will do really well with people from Rancho Viejo. I think I will do really well with people from Cameron Park. Cameron Park's my stomping ground. That's what it is. Which president, in your opinion, was the best? Without a doubt, Ronald Reagan. I loved me some Ronald Reagan. And again, let me tell you, the words that he shared with the country, they were the words that were most needed in the difficult times that we faced back in the 80s. And let me tell you, I loved Ronald Reagan. I loved Ronald Reagan. Este, I loved his speech. Uh, Probably his greatest speech. And I know a lot of people make memory of Ronald Reagan and bring him to memory and say that his greatest speech was at the Berlin Wall. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I would disagree. Uh, I would say his greatest speech was right after the Challenger explosion. And it was just a very, very, very emotional time for the country because we did have a teacher as to, on that shuttle as to who lost her life that day, and he ends with a poem, a quote from a poem. Um, the day they slipped the surly strands of life. Can someone give me that statement? Slip the surly. I wish I would have had it. Slip the surely bonds of life to touch the face of God. Is that the way it goes? Can someone check it out? Slip the surly bounds of life to touch the face of God. And let me tell you guys, if no one's on the quick, I'll do it. Slip slip the surly bonds. Here it goes. I got it. Slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silver wings sunward. Uh, Let me see if I can find his direct quote because I'm reading the whole poem. It's a beautiful poem. I don't want to play it because then I'll get dinged. Who cares? Uh, le- le- do you mind if I play it, guys? Let's listen to it real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd planned to speak to you tonight to report on the State of the Union. But the events of earlier today have led me to change those plans. Today is a day for mourning and remembering. Nancy and I are pained to the core by the tragedy of the Shuttle Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss. 19 years ago, almost to the day, we lost 3 astronauts in a terrible accident on the ground. But we've never lost an astronaut in flight. We've never had a tragedy like this. And perhaps we've forgotten the courage it took for the crew of the shuttle. But they, the Challenger 7, were aware of the dangers, but overcame them and did their jobs brilliantly. We mourn 7 heroes: Michael Smith, Dick Scobie, Judith Resnick, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista Mikaloff. We mourn their loss as a nation together. The families of the 7, we cannot bear, as you do, the full impact of this tragedy. But we feel the loss, and we're thinking about you so very much. Your loved ones were daring and brave, and they had that special grace, that special spirit that says, give me a challenge, and I'll meet it with joy. They had a hunger to explore the universe and discover its truths. They wished to serve, and they did. They served all of us. We've grown used to wonders in this century. It's hard to dazzle us. But for 25 years, the United States space program has been doing just that. We've grown used to the idea of space, and perhaps we forget that we've only just begun. We're still pioneers. They, the members of the Challenger crew, were pioneers. And I want to say something to the school children of America who were watching the live coverage of the shuttle's takeoff. I know it's hard to understand, but sometimes painful things like this happen. It's all part of the process of exploration and discovery. It's all part of taking a chance and expanding man's horizons. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. The Challenger crew was pulling us into the future, and we'll continue to follow them. I've always had great faith in and respect for our space program, and what happened today does nothing to diminish it. We don't hide our space program. We don't keep secrets and cover things up. We do it all up front and in public. That's the way freedom is, and we wouldn't change it for a minute. We'll continue our quest in space. There will be more shuttle flights and more shuttle crews, and yes, more volunteers, more civilians, more teachers in space. Nothing ends here. Our hopes and our journeys continue. I want to add that I wish I could talk to every man and woman who works for NASA or who worked on this mission and tell them your dedication and professionalism have moved and impressed us for decades, and we know of your anguish. We share it. There's a coincidence today. On this day, 390 years ago, the great explorer Sir Francis Drake died aboard ship off the coast of Panama. In his lifetime, the great frontiers were the oceans, and a historian later said he lived by the sea, died on it, and was buried in it. Well, today, we can say of the Challenger crew, their dedication was, like Drake's, complete. The crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger honored us for the manner in which they lived their lives. We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God. Thank you.
That was a speech. Slip the surly bones of earth to touch the face of God. And let me tell you, that completely enamored me with Ronald Reagan. Again, the question in regards to the greatest president, I'm making mention in regards to the greatest president of my time. Actually, I'm very, very proud that I actually got to vote as for Ronald Reagan as during my during the when my 18th birthday, and very, very, very proud moment. As that I'm very, very proud that to have been able to vote for Reagan. And again, as the he just had a way, of connecting with individuals out there, a way that Biden absolutely doesn't have in any way, shape, or form. But that's one of the reasons why I liked Reagan. I thought Reagan was pretty keen. Um, again, which president, in your opinion, was the best in my lifetime? Ronald Reagan. Can't wait till the Secret Service testify under oath. Yeah, awesome. You know, it really does seem that for a lot of individuals, I don't know where you're from, Sunline, but again, you're in a minority, a very, very minute, very, very small minority. I think most of us in this nation are more concerned in regards to the open borders. Title 42 has ended, and we're going to get an influx of individuals coming across the border illegally, and we're going to get more cases of trucks out there that are full of Hispanics, full of illegals who are going to pass away. And all of this while Congress and the president are so fixated on going out there and trying to condemn Trump. I don't care about Trump. The main thing is that Trump knew the rally attendees were armed and dangerous and didn't want them stopped and wanted them coming into the Capitol. You're trying to say is that you knew, and a couple of individuals knew what was in the mind of Trump and what exactly he wanted or what the intent was. And this is what I think is so ridiculous. And look, I think most Democrats have realized that this is a big old blunder, a big old miss. You can't tell individuals in the middle of an economic crisis, in the middle of a border crisis, you can't tell us that everything is okay. You can't tell a nation that is dying of fentanyl and gang on gang violence on the streets and district attorneys out there setting murderers, rapists, drug dealers free. It's kind of hard to say, hey, well, focus on January 6th. And again, man, look, it's just simple. Even your all's leftist news media polls specifically state that only very few people in this country care. I don't. And I'm not trying to excuse Trump or, oh, the Republican Party or the Republican group or the individual. I'm not trying to excuse anyone. I just don't care about them. I care about, well, where the next plate of food that is going to be placed on my family's table is coming from. And look, again, sound mind. I don't know where you're from, bro, but let me tell you, we lived in the poorest communities in the nation. We have absolutely no economic development happening. We've got politicians out here, all Democrats, who are pocketing the money that should go to the people of the city of Brownsville, Cameron County. We've got a county commissioner's court that's being sued by individuals inside the county itself. You've got individuals here on the county commissioner's court that are doing special favors. David Garza is out there giving $1 million contract to his son, a multi-million-dollar contract to his son, with the approval of everyone on the county commission. You think that we should be more focused on January the 6th than these individuals that are pocketing the money that should go to the people of the city of Brownsville and Cameron County? Really, man? I don't think it's going to work for y'all. And look, y'all can convince yourselves in your mind that it is a big old detriment to the people of South Texas. I will guarantee you, if you go out there on the streets of Brownsville, Texas, Cameron County, and take your own poll, Democrats or Republicans, they're going to tell you exactly the same thing. We don't care about January the 6th. We care about the future of our children and how the Democrats here locally are continuously stealing from our children. Look, we've been screaming at the top of our lungs about Tenasca. 135 million, guys. 135 million that this city pocketed from us, took from us. People's light bills gone up 100, 200, $300 just this month after we were promised that it was going to go down. You think we give a rat's behind about January the 6th? No, man. So in your minds, guys, y'all can play this out all you want. Just don't care. We don't care. Very few people in the whole country care. And that's including your liberal states out there. They don't care. He also knew that they wanted to harm Pence and the Congress people, and he thought that they were doing nothing wrong, and Pence deserved it. Intent, awesome, great. Lincoln was our greatest president, barely edging out Washington. Love Lincoln. Let's see. Again, all the witnesses are Republican, but you still think everyone is lying except for Trump. Now you're now you know what I think. See, this is what I find so amazing, because you all left wingers, you all know what President Trump is thinking. You all know what Pence was thinking. You all know what Erasmo Castro was thinking. You all know what everyone else is thinking. It's amazing. Amazing. They wanted to harm Pence and the Congress. They didn't. They just entered into a building, took selfies. USSC bound for West Virginia and is limiting the power of government agencies. A good or bad decision? Let me tell you, I want more limit of power of governmental agencies. Good morning. Title 42 is gone. And let me tell you, we are to expect crop loads of more migration, illegal migration into this country, guys, by the bushels. Millions are going to be pouring into this country, guys. Many of them are going to lose their life. This administration doesn't care. The leftists don't care. Who was the president that camped up with a Medicaid and came up with a Medicaid and food stamp program? I have no clue. I'm going to guess maybe, as a guess, maybe Johnson. I'm not sure. Today, what do you think about Reagan's corruption and his Iran Contra war? Look, Mateo, I lived through the Reagan era. There was a lot of things in regards to the Iran Contra deal that none of us out there agreed with or cared for. Still a great president. Brought back the United States from economic decline. And let me tell you, este, was the right man for the job at that time. According to my PUB bill, we are getting charged more for the fuel and energy costs than the electricity we use. Our bill went up to $100, and and are barely rarely home, and very frugal with the light. This is exactly my point in regards to my big old spiel against PUB, guys. In the months that I was away most from my office, where I had everything shut down, were the months that my light bill went up. How does that make sense to anyone? 1984 election was the first election I voted in as well. I've actually voted in the 1981. I think I did. Oh, it might have been 84. No, yeah, 84. Any idea uh, when this inflation might stabilize or recede? After we get rid of Biden. Hopefully, though, after this November, when we get rid of the majorities in both houses. Why is Texas known to have the highest Amber Alert? Maybe again, I don't know the answer to that question. Could be that we have a lot of folks coming on over from Mexico, and let me tell you one of the. And again, before I get slammed on this, one of the things is that our cultures are just so very, very different, guys. Here in the United States, let me tell you, uh, a Hispanic coming into the country, guys. And again, I know I'm going to get slammed for this. I don't care. Hispanic coming to the country sometimes seem to think that they are back where they were coming from. So what happens is a lot of these folks think that mi hijo, yo puedo hacer con mi hijo lo que yo quiera, and not in this country. And a lot of parents think that they have the right to, take their kids away from other. Again, it's just a guess. I actually have no clue. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. Uh, I don't see y'all talking, MaxiPad and SoundMind. I don't see you talking about the inflation. I don't see you talking about illegal migration. I don't see you talking about anything other but January 6th and President Trump. Uh, y'all are like a one-topic pony, and that's what I find so trippy. Because the one little pony that you're banking on, that the Democrats are banking on, even placing it on primetime television, it's not working for them, man. ABC poll. People don't care about January 6th. This is one of y'all's the news media outsource sources. They don't care. I remember when we saw him pass by Porter High School in his presidential. It was so exciting. We all cheered and shouted with joy. It was amazing. I tell you, I actually got to go to TSC, to TSC to hear him speak. It was awesome. You think your views are the majority, which is why you refuse to allow your show to be more fair and balanced. Uh, Come on the show. Open invitation. Guys, I'm accepting the challenge. Sound mind, Come on the show. The issue is that you won't. Look, I've opened up the show to anyone that wants to come on. I had this crazy nut, leftist nut, who was calling me out on some stuff, and I said, "Come on the show." He said, "Okay." Came on the show. Can't remember his name. I actually shared the post recently. Came on the show, couldn't defend a point to save his life. The guy lived in Georgia and wanted to dictate what we should feel was proper for the people in the city of Brownsville. So, sound mind, come on the show. I'll send you a link. Send me a message. But you won't. No one will. Look at the local politicians, the leftists. Any single time we start talking about Tenasca or anything other out there, they duck and hide. The truth of the matter is, sound mind, you hide behind a fake name. Erasmo Castro doesn't. So you could throw all the little Fox News, Republican, no fair and balanced little comments all you want. Erasmo's got huge ones, huge ones, because Erasmo Castro puts his name, his face to everything that he says. So, sound mind, come on the show, prove me wrong. Come on the show with your name and your face, defend your point. You won't. You'll continue to want to throw little jabs. You'll continue to try to put up there what I think or what I presume or what I believe. I think he just likes to get under your skin. He doesn't, and I don't. I like sound mind. He knows that, or she knows that. I don't care. USSC rules that Biden administration can end and the stay in United States rules that Biden administration can end the stay in Mexico policy can end. Um, Again, este Title 42 is no more. Are the Amber Alerts related to child trafficking? Not all of them. Sometimes there's just crazy parents out there. Well, you're the one that claims you're a constitutionalist. Yeah, and I haven't been proven wrong. Johnson. Yes, that's what I figured. Again, I wasn't sure, but I figured it was Johnson. You're constantly claiming you know what the leftists think too. No, I'm constantly stating what the leftists do. Like the leftists started the riots. The leftists burned down small businesses. The leftists are dying to get abortion back. The leftists are fighting to continuously bring more illegal aliens into this country. That's what I'm claiming. It's not what they think, it's what they're doing. It's the leftists that continue to steal the money from the people in Cameron County and Brownsville, Texas. It is the leftists who continuously put pop up events, pop up different projects, and then we see nothing from them, like the Bridge to Nowhere, like Tenasca, like Titan Tires. It's not what I think, it's what I know and what can be proven. And let me tell you, one of the times I went out there on one of Mayor Mendez's posts and confronted him in regards to $200,000. Again, someone said, "You really think that the Mayor Mendez wanted to steal $200,000?" I said, "No, I don't think. I know." Good morning. Some people care about the future of our children, inflation, and unethical behavior of political representatives, and what happened January 6th. We can care about several things. Parte del problema, Nelda, and this is part of the problem of y'all BISD people. Y'all claim that y'all care about what happens here locally, but then you get lost in this January the 6th thing, which at the end of the day is going to result in absolutely nothing that betters the life of anyone down here. That's the problem. No one cares, Nelda. But a lot of y'all leftist people seem to have that festering in your mind because it's an anti-Trump thing. It's an anti-Abbott thing for some reason, and you think that that's going to get us places. Your opinions on the Epstein case that went hidden for years because of political power. A lot of minors involved being abused, but money was more important. Well, again, according to Nelda and to Sound Mind, January 6th is more important than the Clintons going out there and covering for Epstein. Because at the end of the day, Democrats seem to claim that they care about children, yet they're allowing sex trafficking. They turned a blind eye when Epstein was having teenage girls out there on their island. 1964, the Food Stamp Act was passed as part of the President Lyndon Baines Johnson. Yeah, Great Society program. Thank you, Karina. And again, that was my best guess. Hola, mi Erasmo, para Sound Mind. Si no estabas al tanto de esto es por el programa de Erasmo. Si algo te parece, pues a cambiar el canal. Gracias, pájara Peggy. ¿Cómo te amo? The Reagan Bush Salinas de Gortari era is when cocaine was being shipped into this country like crazy. Yeah. It was the 80s, bro. I don't know how old you are, Mateo. It was the 80s. And let me tell you guys, more than cocaine and cocaine use in the United States during the 80s. I would dare say, guys, that I think one of the things that was most troubling to me back then, and again, I don't know how old you are, Mateo, but one of the things that was even more troubling than the Iran Contra and or the greater numbers of cocaine that were coming into the country, what really, I think was triggering to me back then was the AIDS epidemic. That was I really hate how our country dealt with the AIDS epidemic. And it was a very scary time. And I would dare say, and I'm not trying to minimize the drug use in the country back then. It was just the transition, I would say, from a 1970s psychedelic era where uh, acid and what was the other psychedelic drugs that we were using back then? That I mean, people were using back then, where acid was on the decline and cocaine was on the rise. Not a great thing. And I don't care for Salinas de Gortari. He robbed poor Mexico blind. I don't care about January 6th. What I do is gas, illegals, and rising food prices. And let me tell you guys, crazy appraisal values. To whereas individuals here locally are having to pay two, three, four, $5,000 more a year in taxes. And I think part of the issue, Mingo and Patty, is that a lot of us down here is that want the good paying jobs. We want economic development for our area. That's the kind of stuff that we're more concerned with, not January the 6th. You're assuming too much about what we think or care or talk about. Open invitation, baby. Open invitation. Come on the show and tell us what you think or what you care about. Because at the end of the day, honey, when you clicked on this link, it said Erasmo. With that said, I'm offering you a platform tomorrow morning. Come on the show. My property, county, city taxes. That's what we care about. Some mind share some topics to discuss that you want, and let's see if it's worth any of our time. Get over yourself. Gracias. Cara, Peggy. Prove him wrong, some mind. You won't win. You won't. Because look, folks, again, it's like I'm having these discussions with these individuals from Minnesota, Oregon, and different parts of the country. We live here, and For them, it's just like a one-sided topic because they think like, well, there's not a problem at the border. You don't live here. You don't live in an economically challenged community where the rich get rich, the poor stay poor, the cops get paid to look away as 1% rule our community. Good for you. You don't need to have opposing points of view because you attack right away. You always try to make it personal instead of about the issues. I've offered you a platform, honey. What more do you want? I've offered you fair, balanced, equal time, sweetheart. Just say yes. Come on the show, put your name on the bottom, put your lovely face on the screen, put your money where your mouth is. But you won't because you like to hide behind your anonymity. Erasmo doesn't. That's the difference, honey. Do you think we will have a similar case to that of Epstein in Brownsville? Oh, I pray not. I hope not. But I don't know what you mean. Do I think that Sylvia, Eddie, or Trey are going to take their life? It's going to be suicide? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing that I do know. There's no way in hell that those two individuals from BISD committed suicide. There's no way in hell. It didn't happen. But like Epstein, and I'm not saying it was the Clintons here in Brownsville, was the Clintons with Epstein, but like Epstein, guys, suicide. And anyone that thinks that these things don't happen here locally, they do. Oh, but people want you to be concerned about January 6th. It's like people don't have anything better to do but to plop in front of a TV and watch these stupid hearings, guys, on these leftist news media sources. I was comment anymore. I won't comment anymore because you take it so personal instead of just welcoming all various. You're not producing a viewpoint, honey. You're not. And I want you to comment. Don't give up, but stay focused on the stuff that really affects our area. I mean, I don't even know if you are from our area. You know, let's start working. Look, and if Nelda's still on, let's start working together. And I want everyone out there. I want Nelda. I want Maggie. I want AOBE. I even want Best, and I want TVA. I want all these people out there fighting for BISD. That was ultimately my dream when I started to do these pages. That we'd have this group, you know, like a committee of sorts that would dedicate themselves to BISD, and it would be made up of individuals that were professional, that were individuals that were well versed in regards to everything BISD. Wouldn't that be so amazing? I wanted to have another group out there of individuals who were well versed in regards to PUB and had inside information, had inside knowledge, had been a part of the board maybe, and then them focus on the issues with PUB and how we can address them. I wanted an individual that would focus on TSC board, focus on the port, and then some individuals that would focus on city matters. And we started to go that route when we were all fighting Fly Frontera, guys, and it worked. We were successful. Then special interest hit, egos hit, and look, guys, this is still an Erasmo show, guys. And do I want sometimes not to be the voice of Brownsville? Do I want sometimes not to be the powerhouse of Cameron County? Yes. I want somebody else to take the mantle. but there can be only one. Sound mind, thank you for announcing your departure. Go cry on a different channel. Have you heard the mayor and commissioners ever in their lives use the words corruption? Um, yes, but not in the context that we'd like for them to be using it. And I think that's what's very unfortunate because they have a platform, they have an opportunity to go out there. And I think, look, and I will say, I will give credit to Commissioner Roy de los Santos. Commissioner Roy de los Santos came out publicly and denounced Mayor Trey Mendez for trying to take $200,000. The only one. So kudos. And it's probably the closest in regards to corruption speech that I've heard from anyone in this area. Leftists don't care about anyone except themselves. Okay, Pájara Peggy. I know you're more comfortable only listening to what you already believe. It's, let me say this, guys. It's not what we believe, it's what we're living. That's what's concerning to us. It is what we are living. Please don't include me in the leftist or any party that matter. I try to research, get informed about issues, and make informed decisions, not lump every issue and blame one party. That's what we need. But look now, this November, January the 6th thing is not going to get us anywhere as a community. Anywhere. No one cares. ABC poll a minute number of individuals, and this is a news media source. Very small percentage. So why do people want to come on here and drag me into the January 6th thing? I don't care. I care about BISD decimating the district, our staff, and our students. I care about Cameron County, who are adamant to give their compadres contracts. I care about the city of Brownsville, who are taking the money that belongs to the people of Brownsville. That's what I care about. I don't care about what happens in Washington. I don't care about what happened in other parts of the country, guys. I care about what happens here locally. And if you want to shove January the 6th down my throat, for, do not forget that we lived through the riots, the Black Lives Matter riots, up in all these woke cities up there. Definitely don't want that in my mind, my doorstep. Sound mind. I believe what I want to believe as you do. That's why you're adamant of being here. Yet you are getting what you want and crying like a baby. You don't know what we think is more important, but whatever. Keep talking about intent. Uh, Children. Do you think Brownsville should get rid of Congales and the businesses of witchcraft? No, absolutely not. I don't want any small business to suffer. If I don't mind, create your own channel and let's see how well you handle your viewpoints. I challenge you. Biden, Kamala, era illegals, and everything else going on right now. Um, the border has never been this way. Have a great day, all you extreme right wingers. You love listening to only your viewpoints. Bye, Salmine. Yeah, that's what you're right. Yeah, I worry about my parents who are on fixed incomes, but that's why I'm here to help them. I I think we're all worried about individuals down here that don't have the economical resources of a lot of the people throughout the area. And again, we don't have the economical resources because we have absolutely no economic development. We have seen no growth in our area whatsoever. Politicians have made themselves millionaires while in office. David Garza on the county commission voted to give his son a multi-million dollar contract. He won't come on. or she won't come on. They won't come on. None of them do. Shouldn't we seek truth? Free speech doesn't allow riots or destruction of property, similar to Black Lives Matter riot. Is Congress meeting to address our finances? Uh, they are not. They don't care. What they care about is January 6th. And again, where are the hearings on what went wrong with Black Lives Matter riots? Anyone? So you're expecting us to believe everything that is coming from a lopsided, one-sided House of Representatives? I'm not biting it. I'm not biting that cheese. You did you just say that the cops get paid to look away? Which city? Every city. And they're all corrupt. They belong to Rotary and Bronco Billy clubs. Crazy. And yet Southmind keeps listening to your program. Go figure. Keep doing what you do. That's 100%. Fox News is covering this as well. Surprised? I'm not surprised, guys, at all. I'm hoping that they're portraying the idiocy, idiocracy of all of it. If you say that those suicides in Brownsville are not suicides, then does that mean the medical and the police department lied? Uh, don't think that they lied. They were presented with the evidence at hand and came to a conclusion that I don't believe was right. I think that Donald Trump loved this country so much that what happened January 6th was what he was trying to prevent. That what is happening today, high gas prices, inflation, war, no control over borders. He was never given credit for giving us the COVID vaccine either. Unfortunately, people don't want to address the sticky issues that have required attention. The fear of retaliation keeps people silent. That's why you should run for school board. That's why Maggie should run for school board. But nobody listens to what I say. Did you think about getting to the feds before you were in office or after? Um, After. Guys, we got so much stuff uh, before us. Este, stay focused. Let's stay focused. There's a great task at hand. Don't be sidetracked by circus politics, guys. Our community needs a focused group that will continuously go out and fight for what's right for this community. It's the only way we're going to make it. Guys, have a great day. My time is up. Actually, I didn't expect to be on here for an hour. Guys, it's the social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. Still believing all that crap. I'm not buying it anymore. Guys, be good. See you tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me.